Hey guys, so we're starting off this video barefaced because I'm going to film a first impressions full face kind of makeup look. I'm just going to be doing my makeup using products that I haven't used before that are brand new to my collection. So let's just go ahead and get started because I'm sure this video is probably going to be long enough. Also, before we do, I just want to say that Sugar is in the room with me and he's playing with his toys, so if you hear a little bit of ruckus, it's him. Okay, so the first thing I'm really interested in trying out, and I wanted it to be on camera a third time. The first time I actually really ended up liking this, like initially when I first put it on. I love the texture, I really liked the first impression. But my main issue with this was that it never set. I felt like it was kind of sticky. But I was trying it out with the Nivea Aftershave Balm, and you know that primer is kind of tacky. I just felt like this foundation didn't really go well with that. So for today, I was thinking, I didn't even say the name of this, the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation that everyone has been talking about and either loving or hating. I feel like it's very 50-50. So today I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it out a third time on camera with them, but I'm going to use a primer that I know is just super standard, like one that I already love and there's nothing about it that could alter this foundation. So I'm going to take I'm going to put a little bit more Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer and just kind of put that all over quickly. Okay, so Milani actually sent this foundation over to me. They gave me the shades 05 and 06. I love 06, but it's a tad bit too dark on me, like a little bit orangey. So 05 usually works good. I love like the texture of this because it has like that kind of full thick foundation feel, which you guys know I totally am down for. Actually, I've never used it with a beauty blender. I've always used it with a turn my eyes itchy, with a brush. So let's use it with a beauty blender today. See, I love like the texture of it, the color. I love everything about it on like a first impression. My only issue was that I felt like it never set. Like it had this like odd sort of tacky finish. But again, I think that that might have been just the Nivea Aftershave Balm wasn't good with this foundation in general. Because I do love the Nivea Aftershave Balm and I love its tackiness. It works well with some other foundations, but maybe with this one it just like kind of rubs the wrong way. Like, see, I love this. I love this. Like, it just looks so good. So I'm curious to see after I blend this out how I will like it. Plus I am using a beauty blender this time, which I'm assuming might help that kind of tackiness if that's what this foundation has. So you see how it still lets some of my natural skin show through. I will probably I'm just gonna actually put it on the beauty blender, just a little bit more on the cheeks. I love this foundation. Like, I love the finish of it. I love the texture of it. I love the coverage actually because it's still buildable. So it's like if I wanted to be medium coverage, I could. And if I wanted it to be full, I can just put a little bit more. I'm so happy that I like didn't give up on this foundation, because that's the thing with first impressions. I think sometimes you always need to try it a second or third time before you like deem it as horrible. So I'm gonna give this a couple seconds, it shouldn't be too long, maybe 30 seconds, and tell you guys how I feel about the finish and how it's setting. Okay, so it's been a little while. I do really love the finish of it. It definitely isn't matte. I would say it's a very like natural type of finish. You get a little bit of dew. I still do have some redness peeking through, but I don't think that's nothing that concealer couldn't cover up. The finish of it is slightly sticky, but nothing, like I feel like it's like a normal foundation, the way a normal foundation would set. It definitely was a lot tackier and stickier with the Nivea Aftershave Balm. I don't think those two worked good together, but I'm liking it right now, so I think so far so good. So for concealer, I'm going to use the NYX HD concealers. I already love this one. This is in the shade 04, but I recently picked up a new one in the shade yellow. I don't know if these are new, but these remind me, actually the formula of this in general, I think I mentioned this before, reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Skin concealers. So when I saw that they had yellow, like the Urban Decay ones just came out with the yellow, the green, you know, the purple, the color correcting ones, I thought, maybe this is a dupe for it. So I did want to try this yellow one out to see if it compared to the Urban Decay yellow one and see how it is. So let's test it out. This I just really like, not so much for color correcting, but just mainly the yellow for brightening the under eye because I like a bright under eye. So right off the bat, something I can tell is that it's a little bit sheerer. I don't know if that's a word, but a little bit more sheer than the Urban Decay ones. And I think it's a little darker of a yellow. I usually will put the concealer I already like on top and just mix them together, but for the sake of today's video, I just want to see it alone, right? Just to show you guys how it would look. I don't think I would ever wear this alone unless I actually was doing a no makeup look and I just wanted like a sheer finish. Yeah, so it definitely is sheer, but I don't know if you guys can tell, it definitely did kind of give it a little bit of that lift and brightness. I really do love using yellow color correctors for underneath the eye, even yellow setting powders. You guys know I'm a huge fan of that. So now I'm just going to use the concealer that I already know I like. Oh my god, I am so stupid. I just realized I have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer that I've been wanting to try on camera for you guys. And I just went and used the NYX one. I have been dying to try this and I've been like waiting for this video to do it, and I just went and used another one because I forgot. Oh well, I'll use it in a tutorial upcoming and kind of share my thoughts on it with you guys on camera. So this isn't a new product. I'm just going to use my Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation to set the Milani. I really like this powder. It gives a really pretty natural type of finish, so I like it in the summer if I don't feel like using a translucent powder. So for the under eye, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. You guys know I already love this palette, but I recently got sent the other shade in this. So this is Caramel Toffee. So this is the one that you guys are recommending to me because you know I love my yellows and my kind of slightly warmer contour. So I'm going to test this out today. I don't know if I'm going to use this contour though, because I think I just want to give the Maybelline contour thing a try because I already know I love this one. So I wanted to test the formula of the Maybelline one. But I am going to use the yellow to set the under eye. I think I'm going to like this more than the other one because this one is super yellow. Yes! I don't know what it is, guys, but I live for a bright, like, canary yellow under eye. Like, I just love it. Like, are you guys not living for that under eye, though? Living for it. I love that NYX concealer, and I love this. The fact that this is such a good formula and color, like, hello Wet n Wild. They always do it. Now for bronzer. I actually recently went to the drugstore and purchased this L'Oreal bronzer. This is in the shade 06. I'm a little bit worried that this shade is more of a contour shade and not a bronzing shade. Like, I'm kind of worried about that, but I don't really know because I've never tried it before. So we're just kind of gonna do it. Judging by the swatch, the formula was really nice to this. I'm not gonna take too much because I don't know how pigmented it is. Just gonna... Ooh, I'm getting lucky today. Like, I'm loving everything I'm trying so far. Yes. That is such a nice bronzer. You could bronze or contour with this, I feel like. This is so nice. It definitely is pigmented, so a little goes a long way. Also gonna put it along the jawline. Okay, so now for the new Maybelline Master Contour Kit. I got sent this a while ago and I wanted to try it on camera with you guys, so I kind of saved it for one of these. This is in the medium to deep shade because the light shade is a little too light on me. I'm hoping this shade is going to be good because it's normally not what I go for. It's looking a tad bit too cool for what I tend to go for. I like to do more of a neutral contour. Let's see, I'm kind of nervous, guys. So the formula is really nice. I knew it was going to look like this though. It's really pretty, but it has a little bit of this like deep brick tone to it. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not really digging the shade much. Like, I can't see myself being like, oh, I want to use my Maybelline contour palette just because of the shade. Like, I like the shade of the Wet n Wild one better. So for blush, I really want to test out the new Becca Luminous blushes. This one is in the shade Tiger Lily. It's a little bright, like it's a little orange, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too pigmented and too orange on the cheeks. So I'm just going to take a tad, a little bit. It's really shimmery too though, so that'll be super pretty most likely since it is spring. Oh, so pretty. That has like a really nice gold sheen to it. That is really pretty. I'm probably going to apply a little bit more than I normally would, just so you guys can kind of really see the shade. It gives you such a pretty, see that? Like a pretty peachy cheek with a nice gold sheen. I really like that. Okay, so next product I'm so excited for. We're going to use this new, fairly new, Wet n Wild Illuminating palette in the shade Catwalk Pink. I tried to get my hands on their new highlighters, like the ones that everyone have been talking about, but apparently they're not in Canada. Like, I contacted their PR because I work with them, and the girl said that they're not in Canada. So this one is still super beautiful. It is new as well from them. Like, look how pretty this is. Let me show you guys a close-up. So pretty, right? So I don't think I'm gonna mix, just because I don't really like pinky tones that much for like a normal makeup look. I love this shade and I love this one, but I think I'm gonna do this bronzy shade today because I'm loving the bronze goldy highlights. You guys know I love that. I'm hoping this formula is nice. So like I said, I'm just gonna take that last bronzy looking shade. Oh, that is so beautiful. I thought that would be more rose gold. Like on the swatch, it's more rosy. And then on the cheeks, it's more gold. Like, oh my god. Okay, so now for the brows. I recently got sent these new NYX Sculpt and Highlight pencils, so I decided I'm going to test that out for today. It comes with a sculpting side, so for you to kind of use to sculpt your brows, but I never do sculpt my brows. I just prefer more of a natural looking brow, so I just never do that. So I'm only going to focus on the brow part today. I have mine in the shade Medium Beige Ash Brown. So this is Ash Brown. I'm hoping it's going to work out. The only thing I don't like about this is it doesn't have a spoolie at the end, so I did have to go grab my Anastasia brush so I can brush out my brows first. Okay, so I do like this brow product. I think it looks super pretty and natural, but I think you could definitely build it up. And I think the color matches really nicely. The formula is really easily blended and it applies really nicely. So I do really like this product. Okay, so moving on to the eyes, I have this new Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer that they sent over to me. I'm really curious to try this guy out. I don't even know what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like it might have some color, or it might just end up blending out translucent. Yeah, so it blends out kind of clear. I usually like, so I'm going to tap it actually, because rubbing it's not really working that well in my favor, but I usually like primers who have a little bit more coverage. This has a slight tint, which is actually nice. I thought it would be totally translucent, which is nice actually, and it's drying down, which is good. I don't like eyeshadow primers that are too slick. I like more of a drier formula because I do have oily eyelids and oily skin. Okay, so this does have coverage, like it does cover. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. It does cover, definitely not as much as like a MAC Soft Ochre, but it does cover, which I like, and I'm liking the texture in the formula. So it has a slightly like tacky base, which is really nice because I feel like that's going to really hold on these shadows. I am going to, of course, set it though. I'm going to use the same Wet n Wild palette to set it with, the yellow shade. Feels kind of, I will say, it feels kind of heavy on the eyelids, which is so weird. Like my eyelids feel kind of heavy, but let me see how it feels when I set it. Yeah, so that's a bit better, but I will say it feels kind of heavy and cakey on the eyelids, which is a little strange. Okay, I don't know what eyeshadow look I'm going for today, so I think I'm just going to freestyle it, but I am using the new Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I did use one before, which is this one recently, Pillow Talk, but I want to play with like these shades right here. And I also have, so those are brand new kind of for me to try those shades, but this, I have already tried the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette, but because it is kind of new and I feel like I haven't done a tutorial on it, I do maybe want to use it in today's video. I don't know what eyeshadow look I'm going for, so I don't know if I'm going to even get to use this. But I have the two set out in front of me, so let's check them out. So I'm just going to start off with Violet Voss's Transition in the crease, and I love the formula of these shadows, guys. The palette itself, the shades are so beautiful. But the formula, like, they blend out so beautifully, and the shimmer shades, though, they are so darn pigmented. I'm not even kidding you guys. So I'm going to take this shade by Makeup Geek Tiki Hut, and I'm going to see how this blends out. Makeup Geek shadows are amazing, but of course when there's new shadows, you always want to test the formula, make sure they're the same. I'm curious to see how this is going to be. Yeah, so definitely the same original Makeup Geek formula. So I am going to be taking the shade Toffee from the Violet Voss palette and applying that on the lid. These shimmer shades are so pigmented, and you don't even need to wet them for them to look intense. They are just already naturally intense. But this shade is so beautiful. It's the most beautiful, like, warm golden bronze shade. I feel like it's so pretty for spring and summer. Like, do you see how intense the lid is? And I promise you guys I did not wet it. So imagine if I wet it. It could be super intense. Okay, so for the under eye, I'm just going to take a little bit of the Transition shade again. It's literally called Transition, by the way. The name is Transition. Just going to take a little bit of that lightly because I'm going to use a little bit of the Makeup Geek pop of color in here. So I think I'm going to take this really beautiful matte shade from Makeup Geek. This is in the shade Hopscotch. And I am just dying to use this. It's the most beautiful pastel electric, like, periwinkle. It's so beautiful. I'm dying. Like, I'm just gonna apply that all over the lower lash line. I expected it to be a little bit more intense on the eye. You know what I mean? Like, expected to really pop, and it's not doing it. Maybe I should use the other one, Chit Chat. Kind of similar, but this is definitely more blue and definitely darker, and it has a sheen. It's not matte. Yeah, so it looks like I'm gonna have to, ooh, ton of fallout. Use this shade instead, it's more intense. I'm gonna bring Toffee down on the lower lash line in the inner corner. I'm feeling like I'm lacking a little bit of pop on the lower lash line, so I'm going to take this shade from Makeup Geek, the new Hot Pants. This one is super, like, shimmery, so I'm hoping this kind of gives me, yeah, I'm getting a little pop now. I think I'm just gonna go over all that. So for the inner corner, I really want a bright inner corner, so I'm gonna take Crystal from the Violet Voss, mix it in with Ploof. So Ploof and Crystal. I was kind of thinking of doing white eyeliner, so I have the Kat Von D ink liner in the shade Neruda, whatever, white, and I'm just gonna do a little wing. Okay, so right away I'm just realizing this is the ink, not the tattoo, so this one's the pen version. Ugh, I hate working with pens because they're so stiff, so you get that jagged edge that you see there. See how it looks like I did a dot? Ooh, the dots are kind of cool though, like super retro. I like a brush tip better. This ink liner is already a no-go for me. Okay, so the ink liner was so hard to work with, I feel like. Like, I hate this, like, stiff brush. Like, I just want to, like, loosen it up. Okay, this ink liner was, like, a no-go for me. Super hard to apply, and you have to use it on its side to get pigmentation and not on the point, which is really strange. So, no-go for me. For mascara, I'm going to be using this new YSL Vinyl Couture mascara in the shade Black, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that and see how I like it. I'm usually picky with mascara, so. Okay, so I like that. You definitely do get a super natural lash, but I think it's really pretty. And if I didn't have white eyeliner on, I would apply it more vigorously and kind of really get up in there, so I think it'd be really good. But because I have white eyeliner on, I'm like having to be super careful, so it's applying definitely more lightly and more natural, but it looks really good. There's no, like, a lot of clumps, and it really fanned out my lashes nicely, so I like it. I like it. And the bottle is super pretty. So I am going to throw on some tight line and lashes, but before I do that, I want to share my lippy with you guys. So this eye look is, like, super mishmashed. I don't know if I said that right, but it looks very mixed with a bunch of things. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. What do you guys think? I'm thinking it looks really strange. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, but since it is kind of out there, I'm just going to go ahead and use Anastasia Beverly Hills Stripped. I've never used this shade alone before, and I think it's really pretty just judging off of the swatch. So I know I like the formula of these, so there's not really much of a first impression here, but let's see, I guess, how the color looks on its own on me. Okay, so that is it pretty much. I went ahead and finished up the eyes with some lashes and tight lining. I love this lip color. Like, the way it looks on my skin tone is bomb. It's like a really pretty pink nude. I actually think it's probably the most perfect nude for spring. It's really, really nice. I'm not sure how I'm liking this makeup look. It's really, really strange, right? Like, kind of like, different in a way, like to mix the warm bronzy gold with the white liner with the purple, and I don't know, I kind of winged it, so I think I'm kind of digging it. It's very spring, I would definitely say that. It's very fresh, spring, pastel, kind of colorful. So hopefully you guys like it. If not, that's okay. This video was mainly just to kind of show the products that I tested out that was new, to see if I liked them or not. I think I had a pretty good experience. One thing I did want to tell you guys was the Wet n Wild primer. I went to go wash my hands after I finished everything, because I always like to wash my hands after I finish my makeup. And this bad boy, you know how I use my finger to like kind of blend it out? It would not come off my fingers. I had to wash my hands like 3 times to get it off. So that just goes to show, I think that this is going to be a really good eyeshadow primer. I of course have to see how this lasts all day on my eyes, but it's kind of tough to come off, so I think this is going to be a great eyeshadow primer. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Like, thumbs up for more full face first impressions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.